Hi, I'm Michael Kurosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kurosh, and today we are in Santa Barbara Design Center, where I'm excited to share with you our new rug gallery, where we will be exploring our fabulous collection. Please join us. Start with this fabulous Persian cushion. It is woven by a master. It is the 19th century. It is all silk, on silk foundation. The coloration on this is actually unique. It is a one-of-a-kind piece with the colors that they are dreamy and as extravagant as possible. It's a tree of life, basically grows, and here is the base of it, and it grins in a flower that it blossoms into better future. So you have a lot of birds, you have a lot of animals. It's basically the nature in function and fabulously drawn. It is very tightly woven. It is one of those pieces that will not be repeated. It's roughly 150 years of age and is in fantastic condition, something to behold. You can hang it on a wall and enjoy it for many decades to come. And as you can see, they're all natural dyes. If you look at just the blues, transition from a darker blue to a light blue, medium blue, and again light blue. This happens because they're natural dyes. If you go buy dyes and colors nowadays in gallons, they all become the same color. But since they're natural, indigo has a different intensity each time you dye it. So that's what happens. This is probably a season, that's another season, and here's another season finishing it. It's a fabulous piece. All right, so let's go to the next one. This one is a tribal piece. It is a Qashqai. We call it Shakarlu. It's a sub-tribe of the Qashqais. Qashqais live in southwest Persia, and they are nomadic tribes. So they move all the time. They go from the highlands in the summer to the lowlands in the winter because there is greens and pastures for their flocks. This particular one, again, is a Shakarlu. You can distinguish this with this beautiful, intricate border that has a lot of bird heads sticking out. You have ram's horns. Ram's horns are sign of wealth, sign of masculinity, and the bird heads are one of the oldest designs that we see in tribal societies. You have these continuous S's. The S's represent the dragons, and they are against evil eye. You go down, you have this beautiful motifs. You have this flaming flower. Actually, if you look carefully in it, the flower itself has little bird heads with the eyes sticking on it. So that's even that little detail has eyes. It's called a Memlink Gold. You see it in the Dutch painters from 16th century paintings. You see that a lot. Memlink Gold. It has 7 steps on each side, and that corresponds to the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then again Monday, Tuesday, and has 4 of them. So it is a lunar calendar, basically. So the ancient people count their days as that. Again, you have the ram's horns everywhere. It's beautiful colors, and again in a mint condition. These are works of art that they are being part of the history. They're gone. They are dying art, and the people who used to make these, they don't exist anymore. And as you can see, fabulous colors. Go back to this one. This one we had on a feature last season on our show. It is a fabulous Senekilim. Is a Sanandaj is a central town in Kurdistan, and they used to make these rugs there mostly as gifts. So this one, if you look carefully, there is a lot of little animals in there. You see there are birds lining up. There's another bird right there. There's bunch of little things. If you look at it at first glance, you don't see it, but then the more detailed look, you see. And you see there are vases, but the vases are made of two separate birds. You see, there's one bird here, and this navy with the eye is yet another one. So every vase is made of two different birds, and then there's a little rosette that grows inside of it. Very tightly knotted. It has this beautiful greens, which is unusual. Green is as green is the nature. Natural dyes don't come in green. It's a two-part dye. So they need to first dye blue, which is indigo, and then they add veld, which is saffron, or to get the yellow and to get the green. Green is a sacred color. It's very rare to see in old rugs because they're hard to get and is expensive. Saffron is very expensive. So this one has, it says, be blessed in the borders. It was a gift. So it's like you say happy birthday. That's what's writing in Persian. Mubarak bad. The next one we have is one of my all-time favorite rugs. This one I have for a good quarter century. It is again a tree of life, is a Kerman. It was woven in the 1870s, 1880s, is in mint condition. And as you can see, the animals in here, they're rendered, they're woven beautifully. It's almost, you can see I cannot paint them this beautiful. They wove it like that. There's 1,001 flowers. If you look carefully, there is so many variety of flowers in there. And then you have a falcon sitting in the top, or an eagle. You have a crane, you have the deers, you have a little tiger in the corner, you have rabbits in the very bottom, a pair of rabbits. And is a treasure. Is absolutely one of those things you don't see. And again, it's a dying art. They're not being woven anymore, and they're one of a kind. Next one is an interesting piece. It is a Baluch piece. Baluchis live in the borders of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran. And these people are living in the harshest climate you can get. It's very dry, there's no water. And they make these rugs for interior of their tents. So because it's very hot in the summer and it's very cold in winter, and so they use these as insulation. If you look at the edges are made of horsehair. These edges, they call selvages, are made of horsehair. And horsehair, because where they live, they have poisonous snakes. And snake will not cross this line. They will not cross this twine of horsehair. For some reason, the snakes don't do that. So they're safe if they live on this. And it's a interesting thing I have seen. They have ropes around the snake, and the snake just doesn't cross it. This particular one is very unusual for its coloration. They never have greens or these light blues. They have red, which comes from madder, and they have natural browns. But this one is as colorful as it can get. It has original kilims on both ends. Being 150 years old, is in magnificent condition. It's one of those collectible pieces that will be treasured for many, many generations to come. Next one we got is actually a rare piece. There's only 3 of these I know that exist in the world as far as I know. It is on a gold background. It is a Northwest Persian piece. It's Kurdish people that they live in Northwest Persia did this. If you look carefully, this purple is aubergine is made of eggplant shells. Highly saturated colors. You have beautiful motifs. This is actually a nice dragon, and there's another one right there. Dragon and phoenix play a big role in these people's lives, and from their fight, actually rain creates. When they yell at each other, there's thunder. When they have sweat, they have blood and tear, that's when rain comes down. So they're always hoping for a fight between a phoenix and a dragon. This particular design is very rare because most of these over the centuries have been worn off. They were rugs on the floor and they don't survive. This particular one is in perfect condition and has very unusual motifs. If you look carefully, you have the little feathers of the eagle or the phoenix. You have the flame sticking up. The flame comes from the old Zarathustrian religion. And again, they have little bugs that they are very mysterious. They look alien almost. Then we move to one of my all-time favorite pieces is the Karachov Kazakh. This particular one is of a gigantic scale. They're tribal people. They have looms and they're usually smaller, and because they need to fold the loom and take it with themselves. Whereas this particular one, they made for a gift or something the like. It's beautiful condition. It's one of the oldest ones. I think it's like around mid-19th century. The blues are fabulous. The reds are rich. You see these type of rugs in the old back east homes. I mean, if you go to Boston area, they were, very popular in the 1800s. And is one of my favorite pieces. I would say we should take a break. So we will be back with more of this incredible collection. Stay tuned. There will be more of Design Santa Barbara after a short break.
Santa Barbara Pizza House is your home for the best pizza in town. Embrace a symphony of flavors and textures with our pizzas. Drawing inspiration from both Chicago's deep dish legacy and Naples' artisanal heritage, our pizzas boast perfectly executed crusts, tantalizing sauces, and the finest mozzarella. Whether you're a seasoned pizza connoisseur or just looking for a delicious meal, our pizza here is sure to satisfy. Featuring specialty pizzas named after iconic Santa Barbara streets, our mouth-watering menu will have you coming back over and over again to try each new meal. We offer a full menu of salads, sides, sandwiches, and desserts. Santa Barbara Pizza House is conveniently located at 515 State Street in the heart of downtown Santa Barbara. Visit us online at sbpizzahouse.com or call and place your order at 805-637-7721. Santa Barbara Pizza House. You won't leave hungry.
Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are exploring the treasures of Santa Barbara Design Center's brand new rug gallery. Let's continue our journey. So today we have this fabulous Turkish prayer rug that is unique at its character. So this one has date. It says Sene. Sene in Arabic means date and is 1190 and corresponds to 1776. I saw the date and I go like, I definitely have to have this one. 1776 is one of the greatest dates in the whole world. So it is very unusual because of its colors. It comes from central Turkey and the colors are saturated as saturated can get. Think about it. This is almost 250 years old. And the colors range on that first of all, and then the intensity of them. Again, we have this beautiful purple. Anytime I see that purple, it means an old rug. This purple comes from eggplant shells, as I mentioned. You have this soft green. You have this beautiful burnt sienna. The yellow on this is very rich. The red is itself saturated. It was woven by an older lady. Older ladies try to make perfection. And this is as perfect of as a piece as it can get. You have this beautiful endings on all of them. They call them elim, which means the skirt. So this is extra woven, and then the top as well. They're very graceful. They're goddess of Anatolia, giving birth to earth. And then they have the, the ram's horn sticking out of it. It is 2-3 simples into one. It's very rich, very saturated. It is, again, arched, and we still have the ram, the bird heads again, and the ram's horn. It's all full of symbolism. So let's go after this to the next one. This is probably, if I have to pick 5 rugs I've ever seen in my life, this would be one. I've had this one we featured and we had a talk about it at the world culture center. It is the paradoxity of life. So tree of life we know very well, but this is a certain tree of life too. So this is a div. It looks like demon, but is actually a protector. It's like a gargoyle. And as you can see, the reverse cycle, the rabbit is biting into the lion, lion is biting into dragon, and dragon is biting into the div, which should be all the opposite around, but this is a paradoxity of life. You were born from dirt, your foot is in dirt, and when you grew is your experiences, and when you die, you really don't die, you blossom into a prettier, much nicer, prettier world. That's what the idea of death was back then. And then this is you, basically. This is your wife, your children, the experiences you have had all this life, and basically the tree of life going up and then going to a better future. That's based off of a lot of the religions in the world, but this is a special piece. I think is between 200 to 300 years old. It was woven in southwest Iran or back then West India. So that's a fabulous piece. Next one we have is a unique piece. This one is a triclinium, they call it. So the head of the tribe used to sit at the very end of the rug, and this used to be on the floor in a tent. He used to sit here, and again, this is not a palace, so they used to make these in big formats for palaces. They used to have maybe their viziers, maybe their ministers sit on the side, and in the middle used to be food or entertainment. This is a mini version of it, so God forbid the head of the tribe feel homesick. So that's what they made this to take on campaigns with him on a tent. It's very beautiful. They call gole farangi. Gole farangi means French flowers. These are basically roses, and I don't know why they call them French roses, but they are native to Central and Southwest Persia, and is on an ivory background. You know, ivory back then for a tent that was laid on a dirt was not very practical, but they made it because it was important. You have these little paisleys, very beautifully done. You have the string of roses, create happiness in the tent, bring nice colors, and go from arid outside to interiors that they're colorful. It was a very joyous moment. We have this particular carpet. It is called a shrub carpet. Comes from Shah Savan area, which is a border between Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Persian Azerbaijan. It is they all used to be back then Persia, but not. After the 19th century, the Russians annexed it and became part of Soviet Union and so on. There are 3-4 different countries now. This particular one is a copy of a classical Kerman carpet. The original one was woven like around 16th, 17th century. This one is an 18th century piece. It's a tribal one and very, very unusual. The borders, if you look, the designs are prototypes of all of the ones that they got followed in 19th century. You have this beautiful running water that there are roses and they have trellises. Each shrub presents a different tree, a different type of flowers. It's, again, has worn areas, has repaired areas, but for its age is in fantastic condition, as we usually get these in small fragments. This particular one is in all around is there and is in very good shape. This color I want to get your attention to is between a yellow and green. It's not green, it's not yellow, it's in between. This is very old color and I haven't seen it in new rugs. It just probably make that it's lost art again. It's a fabulous piece. You should come and see it in our store. These designs are actually against evil eye. You see this checkered, the little 5 star motif, it's against evil eye. This S is against evil eye. You will see this. This is a Turkish motif they call göz. Göz means eye, and that's again evil eye. So in this section, the lady wove a lot of things against an evil eye. Something must have happened to her that prompted her to weave that there. We come to a masterpiece. This one is woven in the 19th century in the city of Kashan by a workshop of a master called Muhtasham. Muhtasham was all the rug collectors are looking for things like that. So it is stunningly fine, and it is woven with the finest materials as well. If you touch the wool on this, it feels silky and velvety because they use the finest wool that they used to have shearing from the first shearing of a baby lamb. So this wool is the finest in the world, and then they had master weavers draw the cartoons for this. And again, master weavers used to weave this rug, this type of rug. And again, it's a tree of life. You can see it's a vase, and then the tree grows and it blossoms in the very top. It's a unique one. This one, it is very fine and is in mint condition. And this is something that all collectors are looking for. And we are the very last people that actually can acquire this because it's a lost art and we do not see these on the open market anymore. So when we will be back, we will have another fabulous group of rugs that we will show you. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Oliver Street and find your treasure today. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara as we explore our amazing collection of rugs on display in Santa Barbara Design Center Rug Gallery. Welcome back. So let's start with this marvelous prayer carpet from Caucasus Mountains. It is dated. Again, we have the Senate 1290, which translates to 1873. 1873 is roughly 150 years ago. And it is a wonder that has survived in this condition because these are carpets that they go on the floor and people walk on. It's not like paintings that they are hang on the wall and they live there for hundreds of years. This is a very fine piece for what it is. It's very finely knotted. Must have been a master weaver doing this. It is beautiful color ranges, has beautiful borders. If you look, this is a tiny rug, it's a 3x5, but look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minor borders in just less than a foot. And each one is a different motif, different colors, is fabulously done. Inside of it, we have this little beautiful flowers coming out of the pots, is trellises, and then is woven by an Armenian family. You can see the crosses there. And the crosses are also covered by little goods, which they call against evil eye. It is a beautiful arch, and sometimes they are pointy, sometimes they get rounded. The rounded ones are the ones they are older because they used to be rounded originally. It's a fabulous piece. Come from Shirvan area. It is in current Azerbaijan, but was woven by an Armenian family, most likely. There is a museum in Turkey they call Vakiflar. Vakiflar is when somebody donates something to a religious or an institution, and these were mostly woven to be donated or be gifted. It is a Konya. It is over 300 years old. It has holes in it that we have backed professionally, but usually these come in fragments or you don't even see these at all in the open market. We have been lucky to be able to acquire pieces of art like this, and this is on a wall. If you hang it on a wall, is more impressive than any, I hate to say it, any impressionist painting. It's just something that catches your eye, and in my opinion, this actually does more than that. It's to me, it has a gravity that, you know, you feel the weight of the history on this. I look at this and I feel like, wow, I have been there, or where these motifs come from thousands of years ago, they're represented here. It's a beautiful piece, saturated colors. All these motifs later on became predecessors of some Kazakhs and some Caucasian pieces, but this is where the origin of them starts. We get back to one of my all-time favorite weavers, Mohtasham Kashan. Earlier in this segment, we had seen the wool version. This is silk on silk. So silk is a very expensive commodity, especially back then, 150 years ago, 200 years ago, when they were making these rugs. It was not as common. This particular one is also unusual. If you see, the colors are more monotone and a quieter side, because they were going to give this as a gift to somebody. And this color is lac, is more like a cochineal we get in Americas. There's a little bug that they squeeze and they get that color out of it. Other than that, the rest is mostly natural color, which is the background, and a slightly dyed rest of the colors. Silk on silk, Mohtasham Kashan, Tree of Life. And again, you can see the Tree of Life going through, and the arch is amazing. And this is a silk. So if you look at it from one angle, it gets really dark. And if you let it go, it gets light. Again, it is very interesting how this works. From one side is light, one side is very dark. Beautiful piece. The last one on today's show is a transitional second phase chief blanket. It is woven by the Two Gray Hill people, and it is woven in the Americas. I would say like around 1900s, 1910. Beautiful example, in good condition, and has this beautiful eye dazzler design, and it's very simple. I mean, if you look carefully, it has only 4 colors in it, but it's done masterfully. It's in great condition. So thank you for joining us today. I encourage you to come into Santa Barbara Design Center and see this incredible collection for yourself. I would be honored to share this with you. See you next week on Design Santa Barbara.